French Hill, Republican from Arkansas, is with us now. You're in a race against a Democrat come November, but I want to talk to you about what the president just said about North Korea. Seemed to me like he turned it very much to his advantage. The media doesn't like the summit, doesn't like shaking hands with Kim Jong-un, but the president pushed right back at him. Is he looking good in your election campaign because of North Korea?
Morning, Stuart. Well, I think the president was right. I commend him for reaching out to try to solve this puzzle that we've had for 70 years. But it is an area where we have to trust but verify. So we need to keep the sanctions strong. We need to pursue all of our diplomatic and economic work. And I think we'll be negotiating from a period of absolute strength, and that's where we need to be.
Now, President Trump here was talking about immigration this morning with Fox and Friends. I'm going to roll that tape for you, Congressman. You can listen to it. Roll it.
It seems that strong on immigration wins now.
Sure. But
and,
this is...
the Democrats, by the way, are very weak on immigration. Now, if you notice, when I came over, they were all saying about separating the families, and that's a Democrat bill. That's Democrats wanting to do that, and they could solve it very easily by getting together, but they think it's a good election point. I think it's a horrible election point for them.
Well, he's going right at contentious points there. And by the way, Congressman, as you know, there's an immigration vote in the House next week. Are you going to vote for it?
Well, we've just gotten this draft bill overnight that is supposedly a compromise bill that reflects the president's objectives of the 4 pillars. An equitable deal for DACA, full border security with the money obligated in advance and be spent in advance of any other change, and into the diversity lottery program, and a move towards merit-based immigration. But, Stuart, we've just gotten that overnight, and that's what I'm going to spend my weekend taking a look at to compare that to the Goodlatte bill that we've been talking about for the last 2 or 3 months.
Now, I don't know whether you saw this scrum as we're describing it, Congressman, but a repeated question which came up from the media was, what about the separation of families at the border? The president replied, no, I hate it. That is a Democrat law. They did it. What say you?
Well, that is enforcing current law, that if you're brought in illegally and you're transferring or trafficking a child, the plan, according to U.S. law, has been to put those kids in foster care custody while the parents are adjudicated. And it doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right. The work we're doing in the House is try to remedy that and be able to adjudicate those families quickly, have those that need to be deported, but take care of that family issue. I think the president's hit it about right on that subject. I didn't hear the scrum because I was in a meeting talking about 4% economic growth that I'm